Hey guys, so I got this idea from a video of a subscriber, and I thought this would be interesting because I'm very fussy when it comes to higher makeup. So for me to have any higher makeup in this video, it means that I really do like the product. So first off, I'm going to start with face. So the first thing I have is the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. Oh my god, I love this foundation so much. Like, this is such a good foundation, and the consistency of it is really watery, but so you assume that it's going to be quite lightweight, but it's actually really good coverage. I do really like this. This is in the shade Cadiz medium / dark 3, but I do recommend that you give this a try. I've not tried the new Nars foundation, but for this foundation I freaking love it. The next one is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. Now, the reason why I really love this foundation, it is a matte foundation that rarely clings onto my skin. The only time it does cling onto my dry patches is if my skin is just over it. My skin has to be completely over it for this foundation to look bad on my skin, which is, I mean, it happens sometimes, but for the most part it doesn't cling onto dry patches, bearing in mind that it is a matte foundation. So I do recommend, if you do have like dry skin, because some people just assume that you've got dry skin, you always want like a glowy foundation. That's not all the case. Sometimes I do want to wear a foundation that is matte, but obviously the only problem with that is I run in chances of it actually clinging onto my dry patches. So but this one does not do that, and it's full coverage as well. This one is in the shade 7.5T. So just to clarify what my skin type is, it is combination 2 dry. Right, the next things I have is the Fenty. These are the Fenty Matchsticks. Oh my god, you know how I love anyway anything cream. When it comes to like a blush and highlighter, I freaking love, and I love these so much. So I have the shade Yacht Life, and then the shade Blondie. But these apply really well onto the skin. Oh, I love them. They blend really well as well. I always blend cream and liquid products. Oh, I forgot to mention with these. So this I apply with my fingers. This foundation you have to buff it in with a brush. So with this one I use a kabuki brush. I should have mentioned that before. But these I blend out with my fingers, and I absolutely love. They last really well on the face, and on another side I never understand this. So one of the things where people don't like cream foundations very much is because they find it a faff, because they have to set it so they have to put it under setting powder. For me, I've never had that issue. I've always put it on top of setting powder, and I've had no issues with it. So I don't know what people complain about. Honestly, I don't get it. But yeah, I put these on top of setting powder. As I said, you may not do that because, I don't know, your skin's weird, or I don't know. For me, it just doesn't do anything. But I don't know, I recommend these. Another Fenty product is the... what's this? This is the Kilowatt. It's a freestyle highlighter duo. So this one is in Ginger, Binge, and Moscow Mule. Oh my god. This is another highlight I love. And so first off, the colours may not be for you. Let's get real. When it comes to me, I just wear anything on the face. You'll see later on another highlighter that I absolutely love. I know a lot of people will not wear coloured, and I remember someone did a review one time saying of this particular shade, said, I don't even know any people of colour that would wear this as a highlight. And I'm like, bitch, please bitch, I wear it as a highlight. You know what I mean? Like, stop with people's taste. But anyway, again, I freaking love this. So you get one really glittery one, and you get another one that is glittery but not as glittery. But I freaking love them. Again, they're really pigmented. They apply really well. They last really well on the skin, or on the face, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, freaking love that. Another thing I have, let me take it out of the sleeve. This is the Tom Ford Sheer Cheek Duo. So Man, I was open this with one hand. This is what the shades look like now. You get a highlight and a blusher. Now, as I said before, it says that it's a sheer cheek deal, and I've just closed it again. I'm not reopening it again. But honestly, it's not that sheer. I mean, it sort of depends on what you go for. Like the highlighter is still blinding, but it's not necessarily like, you know, you can build it up as say with the blush, but it's not as sheer as you expect it to be. As it said, it's sheer, but I've had other products that are more sheer than this. But yeah, really like this. Looks beautiful on the skin. Really recommend that if you can still get it. By the way, there's a lot of eyeshadow palettes I'm going to mention which you can't even get anymore. Next thing is the Jeffree Star Skin Frosts. Now, I wasn't sure whether to include these or not, but then I realised, because I was kind of weighing up, is it worth the money? Like, can you get, like, highlighters that are just as good in the drugstore? But then I realised it's mostly because the amount you actually get in it. I mean, you get 15 grams, or in ounces, 0.53 ounces, which is quite a lot. Now, this one, before I open it, do bear as a warning that I had to fix this because I dropped it all over the place at work and it cracked. So now it just smells of fucking Dettol, because I used Dettol because I didn't have no surgical spirits, and Dettol's kind of like a surgical spirit. I don't know if you can get it in America, so I used that to kind of save it. But yeah, as I said, I like wacky highlights. I also have the black one as well, which I actually use as a contour. Because again, it's me, I don't follow the rules, I don't care. But yeah, these are really, really pigmented though. That's another reason why I picked these. These are really pigmented. They last more or less all day. But yeah, freaking love these. And as I said, he does colours that no other people do. Like, you know what I mean? I've not tried his other highlight formulas. I do want to at some point try the can't remember the ones that are in like the smaller one, not the really, really expensive ones, but the ones like second down, like second up from this one, if that makes any sense. If you know Jeffree Star, you know what I'm talking about. Right, next I am going to go with Eyeshadow Palette. So this one, so the first one is going to be like, it's a compliment but not a compliment. So this is the Morphe Jeffree Star collab, which, can I just say something? Morphe are never going to learn, are they? Because they've done a collab with Nikita Dragon. If you know Nikita Dragon, like, let's be honest, she's not got a great record either. And then if she does, Morphe is stupid. That's all I'm going to say. Morphe is stupid. But yeah, so I got this on sale. Now, in my review, I said that I really liked it. It was worth the sale price, but I did say if it was full price, I probably wouldn't reach for it. I probably would be disappointed a little bit. So the reason why I included this one is just because Morphe's eyeshadows, a lot of the time they have sales on some of the eyeshadow palettes. That's why I kind of decided to kind of include this, because I feel as long as you get it at a sale price, then it's going to be worth the money, if that makes any sense. So it kind of is worth it if you do grab it on the sale. That's why I included it. I wasn't sure whether to include it or not, but I thought I might as well just say that, because, you know, it's sort of worth it when it's not at full price. Right, onto the stuff that 100% of worth it. So the next thing is the Mania Palette. Oh my god, I love this palette so freaking much. This is the first high-end palette that I actually fucking loved. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Try Too Faced, overhyped palette shit. Try Tarte. I was like, oh my god, I love this. I need to try more Tarte eyeshadow palettes. But this is obviously your warm tones eyeshadows. You got a mix of mattes and shimmers, but these blend really well on the eyelids, and they last really well on the eyelids. Again, for like what I did with my face, my eyelids, I do have oily eyelids, so do bear that in mind when I do review stuff, or the palettes that I do mention on here. If you have oily eyelids as well, this may be useful for you. But yeah, freaking love that one. Right, next one, which I don't think you get anymore. This is the Kylie Jenner Take Me on Vacation. Oh my god, the hate for this palette was an utter joke. It's hilarious. Like, I'm not being funny. So first off, the brush is trash. Don't even use the brush because it hurts your eyelids. The brush is trash. But other than that, I really love the eyeshadow palette, eyeshadows in this, and I've always gravitated to using this palette. Now, one of the like sort of things that people hate it because they're retarded is that the glitter eyeshadows are not like wow. And I thought that's just stupid because not every fucking eyeshadow palette that has a glitter in it has to be like wow. And she did point out that if you wetted your brush, then it'll give it a more of a pow look. But I think people just like hating on the Kardashians, which is fucking hilarious because it's like you're saying that about the glitters and you want to bet there's an eyeshadow palette in your collection that you like and the glitters are not pow. And it's like, you're a dick. So yeah, I actually really like this palette. Haters are stupid. That's all I'm going to say. Alright, the next one is the KKW Mario Palette. So this is technically, I don't know whose form this is because Mario is a makeup artist. Actually, I think it's Kim Kardashian's formula, but Mario picked the colours. But Mario now has a makeup line. But if you don't know who he is, he's her makeup artist, basically. But again, this is one that I really like. Now, I don't reach for it as much, but that's generally because the colours don't really jam together. You know what I mean? You know when you open a palette and you think, I don't know what look to go with. That's what I get with this palette, unfortunately. But the actual quality of the eyeshadows are really, really good. They're really pigmented and they blend really easily. Again, you've got mixes of mattes and glitters. And obviously, if you want the glitters to power, just wet your brush. But yeah, I do really like this palette, but it's just the fact that I don't really get that much inspiration when I look at the palette, so I don't reach for it as often, unfortunately. But they're really good quality, so I need to check out more Kim Kardashian eyeshadow palettes because, I mean, the formula is great. It's just that the colours, they're not very imaginative. I don't think they really go together. And the last eyeshadow palette is the MAC Mischief Minx palette, and no, you can't get this anymore either. Funny enough, I remember when I got this and I was like, this is so good, what are people complaining about? So one of the things that people say about MAC is MAC eyeshadow palettes, the like bad quality. They're not very good as their single eyeshadows. But when I tried this, I was like, this is amazing. Like, first I swatched it in the store and I was like, oh my god, like the pink, the eyeshadows are really like they swatch really smoothly. They feel really buttery. And then I brought it and I was like, what are people complaining about? I really like this palette. Like, they weren't necessarily complaining about this palette, but it was one of those things that was going around where MAC eyeshadow palettes avoid them. But I don't know if it's because this is not like your average MAC eyeshadow palette, if that makes any sense. Like, this is like a limited edition for a collection. It's not like their normal like MAC palettes which you can get. I don't know, but yeah, I actually really like that, and I was like, okay, remind me to never listen to other people again. And then we go on to lip products. So the first thing we'll go for is the Jeffree Star Vulva Liquid Lipstick. I've got tons, so I only picked this one to show you, but this one is in the shade Jaw Breakup. They're really pigmented. They go on really, really well. The formula is really good. He will let you know when the formulas are a little bit like harder to work with, but it's usually colours that are a lot brighter. Like, for example, the yellow one that came out, which was from a summer collection. I can't remember what that one's called. I do actually have that one. That one's a little bit hard to apply, but he did mention that as well. But it is a very, very bright colour. But yeah, really like the Jeffree Star Vulva liquids, and they're not drying on the lips either. Another matte lipstick which is kind of drying on the skin is the Nars skin drying on the lips is the Nars Pure Matte Lipsticks. They are a bit drying, but I do really like how it lasts on the lips. So it's not too drying to the point where I'm like, I can't wear it. It's a comfortable dry, if that makes any sense. That probably makes no sense whatsoever, but I have it in the shade Amsterdam, which is this one here, and then the other shade is in Carthage, which is a hot pink. I'm trying to do everything one-handed. this one's hardly any left, but yeah. But as I said, I really like the formula of these. I said, even though it is drying, it's kind of worth it. I would advise that using like a lip scrub before wearing these, but same with the Jeffree Star ones. But any matte product, matte lipstick, I would advise using a lip scrub beforehand. And then the final one is the MAC. These are the frosted lipsticks. Now I did have two, but the other one, it kind of melted, which is weird. I did prefer that colour, but I don't know what happened to it. It kind of started melting. But this is in the shade O. But yeah, this is their sort of take on a metallic lipstick, but it's been going on for like ages. Their frosted formula. So technically MAC did it first when it came to the metallics, but this is a little bit more better than a metallic because it has more matte dimension, if that makes any sense, than a metallic lipstick. It does have like a frosted kind of dimensional colour to a metallic. So if you're not a massive fan of metallic, check out the matte frosted finishes because they are actually really good. But yeah, that is it for this video. So bye guys.